Number 5, starting with Mr. Stugas. There are a large number of Asian residents in Quincy, as we all know, many of whom have limited English proficiency. If elected, what will you do to make sure that these constituents have access to you?
Well, we have something called technocracy and technology. We definitely can do email. I get a lot of email from people and read it. I will post things on my website. I have my own personal website. Actually, I wrote my website from scratch in Notepad using HTML, so that, because like I say, I'm a software engineer, so I understand all that. I developed surgery over the internet, so I understand technology more than your average person. So I would work with that to be able to get a hold of me, and I will get back to people. So, thanks.
Mr. DeBona?
Well, I just want to let you know that I have a business card right here that I will give anyone in here that wants one after this candidates night. I make myself very available. I've been the only politician that's been out there for the last 4 years knocking on doors, and I start very, very early. I'm about 10,000 doors in right now since April. I hold office hours at City Hall on a monthly basis. If you can't get a hold of me via email, you don't have email, you can call me on the phone. If you don't want to, you can make an appointment right now. I'll come to your house, and we'll talk to you face to face about whatever issue that you have. I will make myself available all the time. I'm always involved in the community, at neighborhood associations. I'm always involved in the community, at school events, PTOs, whatever it is, whatever you need, I will be accessible. If you see me on the street, please, if you have a question, feel free to come right up to me and ask that question. I make myself available, and it's very comfortable that you could be comforted that I will talk to you wherever I am. If I have my children with me, I'd still talk to you. And if I can't talk to you then, we will make a time and a place that I will meet with you at your convenience. I will come to your house and knock on your door, and if you invite me in, I'll talk to you on your living room table, with you, all of you. So I want you to know that I will continuously always be available as a city councilor at large. You can look me up on the website as well and find out all my information, or you can come to me after this candidates night. I just want you to know that I always make myself available and approachable. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. DeBona. Ms. LaForest?
Thank you. Accessibility to your elected officials as a city councilor, we're the elected officials closest to the people. I pride myself on my communications and accessibility. I mentioned tonight wanting more translation services through the city website. What I pride myself on is my own website, my e-newsletters that I sent out. I'm actually going to leave here and go find out how I can add those translation services to that. You're right, there is a need for communication, and I'm glad to pursue that. I think that's a great idea. I tell everyone I'm available 24/7, 365. People call me, they text me, they email me, they Facebook private message me. I find that that is something that I do very well and am known for. In the past, we've had issues. There was a language barrier. We're working with Quincy Housing, and I reached out and brought on board a translator to sit with me because we were finding a definite communication gap with the maintenance issue they were working on, and I sat down and worked with a translator, and that's worked with me in the past. By all means, call me, reach out to me, and if we do need translated services, that's something that I am glad to pursue to make sure that your needs are being heard and that your concerns are being addressed. Thank you.
Thank you for the question, John. Accessibility is important to me as well, particularly for our growing diverse population here in the city. I have the benefit and the honor of sort of being on both sides of it. You know, I grew up in a Chinese-American household speaking Chinese, but I'm also born and raised here in the city. And so being able to address the issues and to support all the residents here in the city has really been an honor. What I've noticed is that when people reach out to me, whether it's by call or text or WeChat or WhatsApp, their issues are the same across the board. You know, I've heard from folks that have called and only speak Chinese, but the issue is, my taxes are too high. What are you going to do about that? You know, or somebody might come to me and say, there's a pothole that needs to be fixed. So regardless of the language barrier, what I want everyone to understand is that we are here to serve you. We are here to work for you. And regardless of what the issue is, regardless of what language you speak, we are here to make sure that we're listening to you and that we're addressing those problems. And we're never going to judge you based off of what the concern is. We're never going to question about whether or not you're bringing up a topic to complain. You're not. This is our job. And we owe it to you to make sure that we're always addressing those problems. And so, again, regardless of what language we speak, as your city councilor, as a representative of the city, of all the departments, the nonprofit organizations we have, we're all here to serve you. And so do not ever be shy to reach out to any of us. And again, I'm accessible by phone, text, WeChat. I come to the senior buildings quite frequently to chat with you as well.
Thank you
Please
very
keep in
much.
touch. Thank you.
Mr. Hogan.
Accessibility is a very important component of the job that we do. We need to be able to understand what your questions are and what your needs are so we can fulfill them. As a representative of the school committee for the last 12 years, we have over 300 different dialects that are spoken, different languages, different countries within our school system. We have to make sure we're meeting the needs of our students, and we do that by making sure that there's interpreters to be able to answer those questions. When I go to a senior home or when I'm going places, I always make sure that I have somebody that can help me translate your questions so I can fully understand what it is that you're asking, so that we can be actionable about solving those problems. I see many of you here in the audience tonight. I know what your concerns are. You're passionate about those concerns. From safety in your buildings, from feeling like something has been taken from you, to safety on the streets, to understanding our taxes and the spending that's going on. Concerns that involve all of us. And it's the same as if you speak English or you speak any other language. We need to understand what those things are. It's what brings us together as a community. We need to remember that too. The way we solve problems is by coming together. You raising your questions and bringing them to us so that we're all working towards the same goal, the same solutions. And we can do that by working for you. I want to be your voice on the city council so that your voices are being heard and your solutions are being made because you brought them to us. We are your government. We're here to service you, to work for you, and to answer the questions that you have to make sure that we're making those implementations for you. So accessibility is very important, and I'll make sure I'm always available for you.
Thank you, Ms. Mahoney. Mr. Ramadi.
I'm going to go up a bit and just ask a show of hands. How many folks have ever shopped at Cam off of Quincy Avenue? Few? Okay. So to talk about accessibility, I haven't seen one of the officials that came in for quite a while, but I was the city councilor when Cam came into the city of Quincy, and that was a great opportunity for me to not only meet the owners and the managers of that excellent establishment, but that whole retail operation that is now so successful. And that's the accessibility communication that I bring as a ward councilor, working with those fine people to develop that whole plaza. As well as Commissioner of Public Works, where for the first time in the city's history, we developed a newsletter that gave you day by day, month by month, season by season, all the work that the Department of Public Works was doing, and we translated that into your language. I don't know if I'm the only candidate, but one of the few that has translated my flyer into your language as well. So I've already begun and continue the process of being open, accessible, communicating. It's extremely important for us to do our jobs well. We all care about the same things. We care about our families, we care about our future, we care about the city's future, and we need to have communication in order to work together. Thank you.
Thank you.